Hello. So, in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing one of the Jazwares Vault exclusive Endo series figures. I'm not sure which one it's actually going to be because I have bought them all three of them, so I'm not sure which one it's going to be. I'm assuming it's going to be Radioactive Foxy though, because I've seen people getting that one a lot recently, so. I didn't expect the outside box to be the whole Jazwares thing. I thought this part was in another box originally, judging by other things I've seen. Here it is in this box. Okay, so it's a box in a box, and then there's another box inside, I assume. I think it might be Radioactive Foxy, I can't tell, it's really hard to see from the top. As expected, it is Foxy. I really like this figure. And Radioactive Foxy is in my top 5 of favorite Fnaf characters. Right off the bat, I love this packaging. It is amazing. I really wish this was how it was on Shadow Freddy. Maybe they'll do it with later orders that had, like, the more recent ones. Not sure. I don't think any of those have arrived for anybody yet, so. It'd be really cool if they do, though. This is really cool looking. I love this. Looking at the back, that is such a sick render. I love that. Oh my god. Look at that. That's really cool. I love that. On the bottom, it actually shows Wave 2, which I would expect it to show Wave 1, because it's of Foxy, who is in Wave 1. But it's not a problem. Sadly, I don't have any of these guys yet. If I do pick up any of them, it'll probably only be System Air, Toy Bonnie, and Mangle. Because I like System Air, Toy Bonnie. He's also in my top 5. This is such good packaging. Like, on the inside, too. Like, it's just great. I love it. I love the colors they chose and everything. Alright. Let's take him out. Hopefully nothing falls apart immediately. Or whatever. Alright, there it is. Better look at the inside of the packaging. Alright, there we go. I'm gonna take apart my Chica endoskeleton and just put Radioactive Foxy on that one. Let me go get Chica and just take that apart real quick. I've gotten the Chica Endo series figure, skinned it, and removed the bottom of the legs. So all I need to do now is remove the eyes, because I'm planning on putting Radioactive Foxy on this one. So, MacDowan has made, like, I think 2 or 3 videos saying how to remove the eyes on Endo figures. So I'm going to be trying one of the easiest methods, see what's there. So, if this works, thank you, MacDowan. Oh, this is damaging the brick separator. Look at that. I've now gotten the eyes out of it, finally. And now that I've gotten all of the parts I need out of it, I'm gonna use the other endoskeleton for Foxy. Let's just loosen up the joints a bit. Alright, just realized I have to attach the hook, so let's get the hand out. Got the hook in. And now, let's put it all together. Here is the normal Foxy figure, just immediately, which is like, and like this part is like the main topic of the figure. The withering, I don't really like that much. Like, I understand why it's like that, because of like, I think it's like UK toy laws or something. It just looks very weird, and I think it would have been better if they at least just made it completely black instead of the same color as the pants. Also, like, speaking of the color of the pants, I feel like the pants are a little too red. I feel like they should be much more brown. And, like, with the snout and, like, stomach, chest part, I feel like that should be, like, a bit more orange. Aside from, like, those like, main complaints, this figure seems pretty good. I wish there was a bit more mobility with this, same with the Chica figure. Because, like, I want to be able to have his, like, this part of the arm like that. so then the hook would be closer to his face, but it's not too bad. I can still somewhat get it close. It seems that you have to put on the jaw first before this whole, like, head part. I feel like those are, like, my main complaints, though. I do find it weird that they gave him a bit of, like, a stomach right there. I feel like that looks a bit weird, but it's not bad. Aside from, like, those little complaints, I think this figure's pretty good. And it's also pretty accurate, just like the Chica one. I don't really think this figure's too bad. When looking at it, like, on pictures and stuff, it doesn't look the best. But I think it looks much better in person. Still with some complaints, though. I rate this figure, I guess like 7 out of 10. It's not the best, but it's also pretty good. I wish he was a bit more, like, textured and dirtied, like the Withered Chica one. Now time to make Radioactive Foxy. Now here is the Radioactive Foxy figure. So much better than the normal one. Like, I know it's mainly just a recolor, but I think it looks like a lot better. The green they chose, perfect. I have no complaints with the colors. Maybe the yellow in the eye is a little too light, but it doesn't look that bad. I think the green they chose is perfect. And, like, the green they chose for the legs is also pretty good, because you can kind of tell on camera. It's more of a line for the legs. I think really my only complaint is the parts of the normal Endo showing, because they're gray. Also, something I think is really weird is that the joint parts for the specifically green Endo parts, if that makes sense, like the hands and the legs, for the, like, parts where they move, they still made them gray, which I find really weird. Because, like, why would you do that? I feel like it looks a bit weird. When looking at the Endo mouth, it does look a bit weird. You won't see it really that much, though. Yeah, the Endo being gray is a little weird, but it's fine. I understand why it's like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's missing the, like, warning radioactive sign he has on him. I'm pretty sure he has that in the game. You can't really see the withering much, because unlike the Foxy, where it is actually a different color than the rest of the body, on this, it's all just the same color, so I like how you can just, like, somewhat see the lines of the withering, but also, like, kind of not. I think that works very well for the character. The eye patch, they did actually make it black, which is accurate to the character in-game, so I really like that. I really like that they made it transparent, because you can somewhat see the endoskeleton inside of there, just like the Funko Radioactive Foxy figure and the Blackheart Bonnie figure, so actually just got Blackheart Bonnie today, which is pretty cool. I like this one much more than the normal Foxy, partly because I like him more than Foxy in general, just, like, character-wise, but yeah. Also, I really like that they actually made the hook different, and they made sure to make it, like, the weird, like, double hook. I'm not sure why it's like that, even Funko included it. They got the hook very accurate, which is very nice. I'm glad that they even decided to change it. I forgot to mention it on the original Foxy, but I'll just mention it with this guy. I'm glad that they actually included these little, like, spike thingies that are on the top of his torso. I like how accurate it is. I think that's kind of all I have to really say for these. I rate this one a 9 out of 10. There's one last thing to show. That's the eyes and more going in the dark. Hey, I forgot to mention this, but I really like that the material, or, like, whatever it is, that they chose for the green. It's very nice. It reminds me of, like, those older, like, I guess, like, cases, like phones, Game Boys, I think some, like, computers, where you can see the insides and stuff. But now time to show both of these guys glowing. Alright, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.